Okay, so today we talked about graphing inequalities. So we're going to review that before you get started on your homework. And so our target for today says I can represent that inequalities have many solutions by my number line diagram, and I can represent the solutions of an inequality on a number line. So quick recap, we have four inequality signs, and we know that the one that has the point at the front, that means our less than. It's saying whatever is on the left is less than whatever is over here on the right. We've talked about that the mouth of the diagram goes towards the bigger number. Okay, so when the mouth comes first, that means greater than. Whatever's over here is greater than what's on this side. Okay, now when we take a look, we can see that this one is half of a less than and an equal sign kind of squished together, so it represents less than or equal to. Same thing with our last one down here. It is a greater than sign and an equal sign squished together, and it means greater than or equal to. So the graph of an inequality is the set of points on a number line that represent the solutions of inequality. This is called the solution set. We talked in class today that this number line diagram represents all of the possible solutions that would make that inequality true. Okay, so instead of like writing out a list, since it's impossible because there's an infinite amount of numbers that can make the inequality true, we put it on a number line diagram to represent every single possible solution. All right, so graphing greater than, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plot that number, and then we're going to have an open circle with a line to the right. Okay, here's our open circle, line to the right. It's saying not this number, but whatever is greater than that makes the inequality true. This tells us that all of the points greater than that is a solution for the inequality. Now, note our inequality symbol and the arrow point the exact same direction. This is always going to hold true as long as your variable is on the left. So our inequality symbol points to which way it's going to go on the number line. Okay, graphing less than. We're going to have an open circle with a line to the left, and that tells us that not this point, but anything less than that will make the inequality true. Again, you can notice that the way the inequality points is the way that the line is drawn. Okay, it follows the arrow of the inequality. Graphing greater than or equal to is just a little bit different. We have a closed circle with a line to the right, and that tells us it can be this point or anything greater than that. Okay, so to represent that it could be equal to that point, we just fill in the circle. Okay, again, the arrow on our inequality follows the arrow of our inequality symbol. Okay, graphing less than or equal to is a closed circle with a line to the left. It's saying it can be this point or anything less than that. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at number one. Number one says make the graph where x is greater than 4. So the way I want you to do this is I want you to graph it on your paper, and then you're going to select the answer choice that matches the graph that's on your paper. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plot 4. We see it's greater than, so we know it's going to be an open circle with a line to the right. Okay, so I'm going to draw my number line. First things first, I'm going to plot my number 4. Now, the greater than says it's got to be our open circle, and it's anything that is greater than 4, and anything greater than 4 is going to be over here on the right. So I'll draw my arrow going on to the right. So my number line diagram says it can't be 4, but it can be anything that is greater than 4. So now we need to look at the answer choices and see which one matches that. Okay, so if I look at A and B, I see that the line is going towards the greater than direction. The only difference is one is filled in and the other is not. Since we are just graphing greater than, we've got to select the one that is not filled in because it cannot be 4. So the correct answer for number 1 is B. Now, this is what I want you to do for every single question for your homework. You need to draw the graph on your paper and then select the graph in the answer choices that matches what you have on your paper. All right, good luck.